screwed up already. Welcome, folks. Sean's being a lazy motherfucker on a cruise. He claims that there is a, excuse my language, he claims there may be Wi-Fi, so we might be joined later by Sean stacking the money green. I'm on vacation. I'm ditching some. I literally thought the schedule changed. Wasn't going to be able to do this. As soon as I find out the family's coming a little later, I'm like, cool, I'll do the pregame show. They all just arrived to where I am as I was starting. So it's mayhem. Maybe we'll go shorter than we had originally planned. But I figured I'd bring some guests on. We can talk about what we like today. We can talk about maybe some misery over the last couple days, although some of us did really well on Saturday. I'm doing a million things. I got the chat going. I did send out the bat signal to some of our usual Discord callers since we will not have the Discord line open. Oh, wow. The chat is extra spicy this morning. Shout out to them. I got some extra encouragement. Thanks for everyone who DM'd me saying, don't be soft, do the pregame show. So we're here. So first up, I did make sure that I texted the laddie daddy. I gave him lots of time to prep. I think I gave him all of 45 minutes. CJ,
bang,
thank you for joining us. You're better looking than Sean anyway, and I don't have a ton of plays today, so I needed some help throwing some plays in the kitty for the people.
Yeah, well, this is a garbage week of NFL slates. This is where I thrive. I like coming in on these games. And thank you for having me here. I'm glad. Of course, you're going to still do the show. That intro was amazing. I'm like, oh, maybe we do miss Sean a little bit. I was going to do an impression.
We definitely missed Sean for the intro.
Woo! Just the intro. Right. Do an impression. Let's hear it. Welcome to the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I'm Sean, stacking the money green. With me, as always, is Ryan, real deal Kramer. What's happening, Kramer? Kramer dog.
Well, it's funny. My daughter actually does a really good impression of Sean.
Yeah,
so maybe I should have gotten her in here to do the gimmick. Yeah, and apologies. I'm in Florida, so who knows how good the internet connection is down here. We all know that
coming in crystal clear, Florida. What is going down there in Florida? Speaking of which, I saw that Tampa Bay line jumped to 10, just like yesterday when I saw Cleveland go to 3.5. I'm like, well, that's either Winston news or Tua news, and it was the depressing Tua news, not the Winston news. So, what is anything happening down there in Tampa Bay, weather-wise or anything? Why is that line 10 now?
It's cool and not that humid. Maybe that's the problem. I'm not sweating profusely. Haven't been destroyed by mosquitoes, so perhaps something to do that with that. But yeah, a lot of late breaking. I don't want to call it nefarious news, but it does seem like some people are making some business decisions, including, not to talk college, but shout out to Cam Ward for not playing in the second half of that bowl game. That was well played. Everyone thought you were a dog. You're out there playing to win, to make money, and then you decided to not even care about the Pop-Tart Bowl. All right. Now, CJ, what do we like?
Real quick, because that was my only college loss yesterday, and
the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Yeah, the Pop-Tart Bowl. I had Miami. I also had the over, which was nice because I hit like 2 minutes into the second quarter. But do you think the Pop-Tarts flipping the coins and the sprinkles on the sideline, do you think that came into play with Cam Ward saying, you know what, I'm good on the second half. I don't want to slip on a Pop-Tart or something to injure myself.
I love the big story of like, look at the Pop-Tart company. They're getting creative. They've asked college football and been granted access to put sprinkles on the sideline. Then they also revived a dead Pop-Tart from last year.
Then they killed another one.
I like the WWE element of what Pop-Tarts is up to. At least they're making something out of it.
For sure. And it shows how thirsty and hungry we are as a society. As soon as they took public executions away from us years ago, how much we want it. Even if it's Pop-Tarts, put it in the toaster. We want to see something die.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. All right. What I'm sure the people want a ladder from you. And I know we got a friend of the program, Scott Bowser, joining a little bit. I think he might have some ladders as well. We might even just go full clusterfuck mode and bring him on after you drop some ladders on the people. And then, for the folks who normally call in on Discord, I know we already got Easy backstage. I did drop a line to Dick Puncher, so he has no excuses. The Dick Punch can happen this week if he wants. And if anyone else is looking to potentially quote unquote call in and you're a regular, DM Easy on Discord. He'll find a way to get you the link.
Yeah.
All right.
And first of all, I commend you for opening up the chat, bringing in a few guests. because as someone who does a solo show, and once you shut down this kind of communication, the spiral to madness goes deeper and you can't get out of it. So I recommend you keep any line of communication with society as you can for your show. Keeps your pick sharp. I don't know what I'm doing out there.
Well, I someone who has done a 24-hour live stream with
Right,
maybe guests half the time. You end up the ramblings of a madman. So what? You're very Phillied up today. It was very disappointing for me personally to find out Jalen Hurts, one of those quarterbacks who's taking an extra week off this week.
Yeah, my God.
Bummer. But so what? And against the Cowboys too. I can't wait to hear how Sean spins this. And unfortunately for the people out there, Sean is also probably ditching the post-game show tonight. So we'll see. It could be me by myself. Maybe I'll have some friends. But yeah, I would love to hear the discourse around Jalen Hurts suddenly not playing when they're playing the Cowboys. But anyway, let's talk bets. No one wants to talk about Jalen Hurts.
No, for sure. And I have the camo for the fantasy Super Bowl. Of course, this whole week 17 is a mess. Way it's scattered out and like that. And I had one of the worst beats. We all had one of the worst beats if you had Denver plus 3.5 yesterday. But I had that, and I was fading T. Higgins, so it was just insane. But I battled back with Cooper Kupp, who had his standard one catch last night. So I'm all set. It's nothing better than being already defeated before Sunday even shows up. It's insane. I had DK, Kupp, and my man Fairbairn, who pulled out the first zero he's had all year.
Oh my goodness! I did lock up the Bengals, so I apologize for that bad beat.
Easy, always the right side. Those Bengals, easy play, easy winner. I love Burrow doing the gritty whatever or giddy on top of Chase Brown's corpse as he tore his ACL. Basically, I know it's a high ankle sprain, but show a little couth for God's sakes.
I didn't think it was a great gritty. It
was not a great gritty.
Like when Dad is being goaded to dance at the holiday party. It's never going to turn out well. You're just going to look like Trump and hope that you turn into a meme.
All right. As far as any props go, I mean, of course, there's always a revenge angle. There's the Aaron Jones revenge in the afternoon. His total is pretty low at 66. I think it is that now. I think he clears that easily. He's cleared that 3 of the last 4 anyway, but let alone a home game now versus the Packers. I like the Vikings today anyway, -1. But I definitely like Aaron Jones over 66. Not for my ladder. I had some Miami ladders, but then the 2 in news that's crippling. I can't touch that game now. But I do love that Saints Raiders game. You have to be on top of this game, right? This is maybe my favorite game on the slate. Jacksonville, Tennessee is right underneath it, but I love when 2 worthless teams are going at it, and like you said before, with you got Rizzy and Pierce, 2 absolute meatheads, interim coaches who are going to have them playing. The draft picks be damned, which I love. I always love when they talk to them like, "Why were you celebrating winning when you lost the number 1 pick?" Like the Raiders, like, why would I care who we're going to take to replace me? Like these players are like, we don't care about a draft pick. We're not going to be here.
I do like that tank, and you're seeing it more from that thought process. You're seeing it more from the young people. Like, why are they even trying? They should just lose. And it's like, come on, dude. Like this just shows how effed up society is right now. That you're mad at your team because they're not acting like beta losers. I don't know.
You had both sides last week. You had the young people who couldn't believe the Raiders would be happy for winning a football game. They just couldn't believe those players would do that. And then you had like older stat heads who couldn't believe Achane for Miami ran that touchdown in with like 4 minutes to go, whatever it was. Like, yeah, maybe scoring a touchdown's fun in South Beach when they're playing the Niners. They want to go out. Who cares? Win or lose, their season's done anyway. Like, go down to 3 and optimize the clock. Shut up. I'm going to score a touchdown, you nerd. And then I'm going out tonight.
Yeah, no, the roster construction nerds have never been, and game strategy nerds have never been at a larger supply than they are today.
Mm-hmm. So in the Saints game, first of all, I'm liking a Spencer Rattler bounce back game. ATD's plus 500. It's not too bad. I think he's going to have a little moxie. I think there's going to be a lot of pride there on the line. And Valdez-Scantling, who I always been playing, he's back in the lineup. His ladder is always there for the taking, playing that position that goes deep there for Kubrick's offense. Starts out at 31, the lowest rung. Let me pull out a ladder for you, boys, since we are here in the stick.
And by the way, I'm sure most content creators have multiple ladders reachable from their workstation. I'm sure.
Multiple ladders. Well, when Laddie Claus is here, for sure, we're going to give out some Christmas gifts. So, I mean, literally every room I go to, not that I have a massive 7-bedroom apartment, but every room, just like some people still like to have a phone charger in every room, I like to have a ladder at the ready in every room, just so you can, just so you can think about it. You can think which, I got a pocket size ladder. I have a formal size ladder. I have communicating if I want to drop a note down the neighbor below me to stop with the goddamn Enya music. Anything you can do to have a ladder. But anyway, I'm going Marquez Valdes-Scantling today. 60 yards is at 3-1. 72 yards is plus 420. Now you climb up here, and like we said with Valdes-Scantling, he's a boomer bust. And I expect a big comeback game here. I like the Saints today too, plus the 2. I took them on the money line as well.
Oh, big time. Big time.
Love the Saints today. 75 yards is plus 550. Come on now. 82 yards plus 639. 92 yards is 999. And if you want to get that kitty out of the tree, 102 yards on mybookie.ag. Right now, you can get that at 16-1. 100 yards for Marquez Valdes-Scantling, 16-1. Are we crazy?
This is one of your favorite wells of the season.
Yeah, absolutely, and it hits. And every time there's no worse FOMO than when Valdes-Scantling hits and you're not on it. You're like, why? The 1 week, because when he pops, it pops.
That's like me and Scott Matlock at first touchdown.
Yeah.
If the Chargers are in prime time, I'm sprinkling that Matlock touchdown, even though it hasn't hit. Which, speaking of which, I will share with the people as a quick interlude to CJ's ladders. Sean, although gallivanting international waters, can't find time to do the show, can find time to have me look up his favorite touchdown props because apparently he's being blocked. Sean likes Juwan Johnson anytime touchdown in this game. He also likes a Jaden Reed 2 touchdown in the Packers game and a Westbrook and Kinney system play for his first touchdown in that Tennessee game.
Now, I was looking at Jamal Williams' numbers here. You're the Jamal Williams expert I usually lean towards with this. Now, he was at 28-1 for 2 touchdowns. How does it? I know they're not giving the ball, but when it happens, it's going to happen.
When he was getting those carries last week, or when we were kind of back in that angle,
we were on a little bit.
Packers. Man, did he look washed. I started to understand why the Lions maybe got rid of him, but we have to go back to that. Well, I think there's a number of those types of wells this week, and I actually bookmarked this tweet, but Adam Schefter, so this will be a very public side, but Devontae Adams, who is questionable with a hip injury, he's expected to play. And this is the stuff why Adam Schefter is a hack, and he's clearly just writing stuff for agents. Adams would like to catch the 500th career passing touchdown from Aaron Rodgers, who's 1 TD pass away from that milestone. Adams has already caught Rodgers' 200th and 400th touchdown. Like, what a crock of shit reporting, but also, are we playing the anytime because of it?
Of course we're playing it. It's plus 150. What, am I not going to play it?
Yeah.
You know what, though? Because he, a couple weeks ago, was at that game down in Jacksonville, I believe, when Adams wanted a touchdown for some stupid number him and Rodgers have together, and it was on the goal line, and Rodgers was throwing fade after fade, back shoulder, like 3 times in a row till he finally caught it, and he's like, Rodgers will force it. He does not care what the game situation is, if they need it, if it hurts the team at all. He will force it to Adams, so that I will definitely back up. So, of course, I'll take plus 150.
Let's lock that in. All right, you know what? Let's bring on guest number 2.
Yeah.
Have a little chat here. Bowser?
Yo! Oh man.
Host of the Luck Stops Here podcast.
Yeah.
And a very degenerate looking individual.
Terrible.
Yeah, no, I got my
you look terrible, Bowser.
I got this Uncle Junior robe and cap for Christmas here. So I'm just leaning into it,
Nice.
I'm a bald Italian guy with horn rim glasses. It all fits, dude. Like,
Bowser did tell me he got a sick robe for Christmas, so I'm glad that he's wearing it for the. And Uncle Junior is the right guy to compare yourself to.
Yeah,
you are 100% Uncle Junior.
You're like when they do flashback episodes and show Junior and Tony, like, you know what I mean, like messing around when they're younger in the '60s in New York. That's who you could play. You could play Junior in his 40s.
Dude, they really missed me on Many Saints of Newark. I know Corey Stahl did a good job, but I would have knocked that out of the park,
All right, so the chat's very excited to see you. Fred Durst pointing out that the Adams first touchdown is also 10-1. Terrell, we'll shout out Terrell. He doesn't know this yet, but he might be joining me on the post-game show tonight. We're not talking about his NCAA Aggies, although shout out to Tugboat Tootin, for my Hokies, former NCAA guy. Let's see. All right, Bowser, what you were touting the fact that you're some sort of ladder expert after yesterday. So I assume you brought something for the people.
It was Christmas because I did, and it was kind of actually me kind of tailing you guys from your prop show, but I did a Lamar rushing ladder with anytime touchdown, and I had a little John Mechie rushing ladder or receiving yard ladder that both of them went pretty well. But then I took like the second tier on each one and same game parlayed those together. And that was, a nice little hit for me. So enjoyed that. But today's ladder, the Chuba Hubbard news in the Carolina-Tampa game has got me thinking. And also with the line, you're expecting Carolina to be playing a little catch-up ball in this one. So I like an Xavier Legette receiving yard ladder. I did do an anytime touchdown play on him, but dude, I did it 50 to 100 yards on him because at 50 it's plus 210, at 60 it's plus 320, 70 plus 490, 80 plus 790, and then goes to plus 1120 plus 1400. So that 100-yard game gets me 14-1 on the highest end of this ladder, and I really like that, especially when you compare it to Adam Thielen's numbers, where you're at like 50, 60 yards, you're still at like minus 130. And I feel like that's kind of more of a coin toss there with which receiver is going to get the bulk share. So give me Legette on that ladder there.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, there's a number of guys. I think you're probably getting a little bit of a discount because they're questionable tag or whatever. Neighbors, Adams, Hill, Legette, all on that list of receivers who got the Q tag, expected to go. Yeah, I like that. I like that angle. And real quick, staying in that game, well, I mean, once again, it's a situation where, and by the way, I'm going to use this as a quick transition because I did play this game in my first half parlay. So let me quick give that out for the people. But the Carolina Panthers, without Chuba Hubbard, what kind of dumpster fire is this team going to look like today? I ended up going with the under in the first half for the first half parlay, which, by the way, Carolina Tampa under 24. That's not the one I wanted to show. Dallas Philly under 19.5. Again, Kenny Pickett, not him. Cooper Rush, not him. Going to lean on the defenses there. Jets plus 6.5. Titans plus 5, plus a half. They've obviously been very good in the first quarter. Hopefully that can hold for the half. And I'm going to the Saints game, taking them in the first half as well, plus the half. But back to that Carolina game.
Yes.
I just wanted to have a quick rational conversation with two other rational people. But don't we put all the money? Isn't Tampa and teasers, Tampa all the money? How does this go good for the Panthers?
I'll say this. I think this is one of those games you tease either way and it hits. I think plus 16 is in play for Carolina, and I think minus 4 is in play easy for Tampa. So I feel like this is one of those I try to look for those every week. What are the games that if you tease it, no matter what, you're going to be on the right side? And I can see that going this way. I'll tell you why I won't go all in on it, because I have a nice wager on Carolina win total under.
Oh,
I'm already at plus 125 under 5.5. Yeah. I'm already good for this sweat. So
what about you, CJ?
You're not a Raheem Blackshear fan? Is that what you're trying to say?
He is a Virginia Tech Hokie. I have been a fan of his. He's kind of lingered in the NFL for a while. I just have never seen him be the guy. And I think they need Chuba's been one of the better running backs in the league this year. Yeah. So to lose him,
for sure, it's a big loss. Mike Boone is not going to be him, although he's serviceable. But I think
Mike Boone anytime would be the fun play I would have, probably. I'd look for maybe something like that if I was being pro Panthers.
I was looking at that. That was like plus 380 or plus 400, somewhere around there I saw. So it wasn't quite as juicy as I would like it to be, but it's not bad. I mean,
I mean,
And Jake pointing out that Ryan Miller 2 TDs is in play. Horn's going to be all over Evans in that matchup. McMillan 2 touchdowns as well. Oh, I like both those angles. I mean, I don't know if Horn's going to shut down Evans completely.
Evans
to the
will
point
have
at this
100.
point, but
Evans will have 100 yards today.
But I do think my general thesis was I think Tampa's going to put up some points this week. So
yeah, for sure. And like, whenever time movement happens like that and there's no real news, I'm like, and it questions me. I'm like, sometimes I'm like, just like, what am I fighting for? I just follow it. What am
Andrew
I
G in the
Someone
chat
knows
pointing
that,
out that Jake is a donkey. JC Horn is out. So. Strange also pointing out must be a Colton Strange relative, maybe Breton Strange, whatever Strange Sean's into this week. Taming Strange, Horn is out. All right. Look, we got another one. Love the fans calling other fans idiots. All right. CJ, any other props you want to throw? Otherwise we're gonna take a call and then we'll come back to our own plays.
And as far as props, I mean, like I mean, Bucky,
anything you want, freestyle, CJ. Freestyle.
Oh, wow. Freestyle. That's amazing. Well, I mean, I was going to ask you before I laddered him, but I laddered it anyway, just because of your amazing stat of anytime DTR quarterbacks. Jerome Ford is the target.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he had 5 receptions last week, and that was a bad week. That was in Cincinnati. Now we got home versus a team they can keep up with, with Miami, with Hundley in there. How about DTR over 3.5 receptions? I think they might have juiced it. It's plus money, and ladder that up to 8 catches. Why not?
If you asked an average NFL fan to you put DTR and Snoop Huntley side by side photos, how many people could tell who's who? This is going to be a fabulous game this week. Yeah, that's a great call. The Jerome Ford stuff's in play, big time. Yeah, big time.
Jerome Ford's in play. DTR ATD. Why not?
Love that.
I love Jerome. I love Jerome Ford stuff too, man. That's good. I even like a touchdown ladder there with him. Go up to 3, dude. Fuck it. Like have fun with it. But I actually was looking towards, I was trying to make this Jacksonville, Tennessee game interesting for me. And so I put together a same game on this one that, dude, as I was putting it in, it went from 7,600 to 6,600. They saw that I was a genius. They had to trim some of this fat off.
They saw Uncle June on the book, and they
walking in. Hey.
So we're going with Nick Westbrook-Akine, anytime touchdown, and that was like at plus 390. So just on its own, that's not a bad little play. But also with Mac Jones, anytime TD. Okay, that was at plus 1,000, so 10-1 there. And then I parlayed that with Mac Jones over 7.5 rushing yards and Nick Westbrook-Akine over 16.5 for his longest catch. I don't need much to happen here.
It seems pretty simple. Just a couple levers have to be pulled.
Right.
Yeah,
everything's good.
He can do it. Westbrook-Akine can do it all on one catch, and Mac Jones can do it all on one little scamper. It could be 2 plays. This all happens, and I get 66-1 on it. That's the only way I could figure out to make this game interesting. That's I'm not giving this out as advice. I'm giving this out as this is the one way I figured I could play this where this game wasn't dreadful.
I like it. All right. Terrell helping us out, pointing out that Snoop Huntley and DTR look nothing alike. I would say the same thing about Cooper Rush and Kenny Pickett. Relax, Terrell. It's more of a unknown nature of their quarterback play. All right. Let's take a first caller.
They have helmets on. We don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Emmett Smith told us one time that they got to take the helmet off to show your face. These guys aren't listening to him, probably because they get fined if they do it. All right, let's bring on our first caller. He's been sitting here watching the show backstage since the beginning, and he was the first guy I sent the link to. Sorry, Dick Puncher, but Easy always bringing the heat with the touchdown parlay. And now it's where we've gotten to full on Zoom conference call mode here. So thank you for joining. Easy, how is your weekend going? How are we feeling about the Lions? And give us something to chomp on this weekend.
Yeah, so I mean, weekend's gone pretty well so far. Speaking of ladders like these guys, I did hit a Mims ladder last night.
Yeah,
had him up to 80 for plus 1,300. I had his anytime too. I wish I had done 2 touchdowns, but I'm not going to get greedy. Still a pretty good day. So yeah, been a good weekend so far. Yeah, tomorrow night with the Lions, I think we're going to beat them by double digits pretty easily. Our team's still pissed about last year. If you look at Dan Campbell's interviews over the course of the last week, he seems like he's still pretty pissed off. So even if the Vikings lose today, I don't think we're going to sit anybody. I don't think we're going to like relax at all. I think this is going to be, we want to beat the shit out of y'all, and that's what we're coming in here to do.
Yeah, that's been the vibe all season with this team. So I'm with you. That game next week is going to be all that matters.
I love this whole Lions revenge tour real quickly, like the Dallas, and San Francisco. It's all against teams that have no idea what they're talking about because they have their own problems now. Like, listen, man, our season's been done for months. Why do you talk? That was last year. Like, yeah, I know we remember. Well, we didn't. All right, can you just leave us alone? No, we're gonna win by 40 and have our offensive linemen score touchdowns.
It's like that scene in The Waterboy where the quarterback's like, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I'm not your mom, and
right.
We have to have revenge on somebody because we've never been in this spot before. This is all new to us. So we just have to kind of like make stuff happen to keep the momentum, so anything that keeps us winning. Plus we have a bunch of guys that are coming back from IR. So that should help us out for the playoff push. So I mean, anything that gets the team going like they have been, I'm all for it. Stay pissed.
So what's the parlay here? I assume you got a touchdown parlay, maybe an interception parlay. You got something going on.
Yeah, so I have a 2 touchdown parlay and I also have some interception. But before I get to that, I'm surprised, y'all been on here and haven't said anything about Brock Bowers yet. He's playing for that rookie receiving record, and I think he needs 7. Now, of course, he's still kind of fighting with Neighbors because Neighbors, I believe, is like 3 or 4 behind Bowers. So I think both of them are going to go off today trying to get that reception record. So I have Bowers. I'm playing his yards over his receptions just because if he gets the receptions, he's going to get the yards, and the receptions are priced a little bit better. So I have him laddered up to 80, and then I have Neighbors laddered up to 100.
I like that. Yeah, Bowers is
Patty Meltz. Sorry, CJ. Patty Meltz pointing out that we now have multiple robes potentially on the show at the same time. This is some serious drip situation here. Dueling robes live on the Sports
we call this segment the Lebowski Ladders.
Oh, we're on to something now. Well, let's just drink some White Russians and give out ladders. There's got to be a bowling analogy here. I saw a comment earlier saying Bowser looked like he's the guy ripping cigs in the alleyway of his bowling alley or something like that.
More these days, but yeah, you're not far off.
All right, so easy. Other than the Bowser, I mean, I agree. There's a couple angles like that where whether it's contractual or Devontae Adams wanting to be the one that catches Aaron Rodgers' precious 500th touchdown. There's a lot of narrative-driven stuff that I'm not sure the market's picked up on in all the cases. So, Bowers seems under proof at this point.
Yeah, Mike Evans is another one of those guys that's big in incentives this week. I think he needs like 4 or 5 receptions, 100 yards, and 1 touchdown. And if he hits all 3 incentives, he gets like $3 million or some crazy shit like that. So I'm sure Dick Puncher will come on here and talk about Mike Evans, but he's huge in the incentives over the next 2 weeks.
I just thought of something with an underdog entry because they do targets on there for a lot of guys. And if all these guys with incentives, if you could do an underdog entry with all higher on their targets, or they
keep that in mind. We're gonna build one at the end, Bowser. I have noticed that this week some of those fantasy point target ones for some of these guys are not showing up. So perhaps they're on to right. They're on to the angle, especially with the Devontae Adams one seems the strongest. But we'll build an entry at the end of the show. Easy. Give the people what they want.
Yeah, so my 2 touchdown parlay, I'm sticking with the guy I just talked about, Brock Bowers, 2+ touchdowns. His anytime's like plus 220. I think that's a pretty easy one. But against the Saints, I think Bowers is probably going to be the focal point of the Raiders offense. So there's no question. He's got at least a shot at 2 touchdowns. Bucky Irving, 2+ touchdowns. Last time they played the Panthers, he put up like 158 rushing yards. I think he has another big game. And then Jordan Addison, 2 touchdowns. He kind of seems to be Darnold's go-to guy right now just because Justin Jefferson's getting double and triple teamed. So Addison just seems to be open all the time. Those 3 guys, 1,169 to 1.
Throw that in the chat for the people. Yeah, Addison's interesting because people forget how he was kind of the first NIL receiver. He took the big money to go from Pittsburgh, where he was a top-notch receiver. Pittsburgh put out some nice receivers in the past. Goes to USC, and I don't think he's seen as like a number 1 receiver in the NFL by most. But he's playing across from Jefferson, and he's just been a monster finding the end zone. Yeah, absolutely love that angle. I mean, I think Sean 2 weeks ago cashed the Addison 2 touchdowns, and I failed to mention this at the top of the show, but in true Florida fashion, you can't actually see this, but my computer is on a fillet table, like a table you would gut fish on. So yeah, it was all I could find to do the show. So I'm doing the show live from a fillet table in Florida. Anyway, easy, good shit. Anything else to throw out before I bring on Dick Puncher here?
Yeah, just I'll go through them quick. I do have a couple interception plays too. I cashed.
Oh, sorry. Yes,
Let me
please.
get,
Yes, please.
getting the pen out for this.
Yeah, so I cashed Cam Kitchens last night. That was the one that I got. I went 1 for 3, but he was plus 700, so still profit. I have 3 today that I like. The first one is Malik Hooker. I think, Jalen Hurts not playing, great chance that someone grabs an interception for the Cowboys. Malik Hooker, to me, just seems to have the best look. Xavier McKinney, Darnold, as much love as he's getting, I don't think he's as good as everyone says he is. That could be Lions bias. I don't know, but he throws interceptions. Xavier McKinney is still pushing for the league lead. He's still tied with Kirby Joseph, so I think he's got a great chance of getting one this week. And then the last one is Christian Benford. The Bills get a lot of turnovers. Aaron Rodgers, like y'all said earlier, is probably going to be trying to push the ball, especially to Devontae Adams. So Benford could have a really good shot at getting one too.
Do you guys write that down? Everyone got their notes. All right. The court report, the stenographer is locked in.
Look at us.
2 guys. And by the way, highlighting the audience, 2 people with pens and paper.
That's how you can
at their read. Again, CJ's got ladders there. He's got pens, papers. This is a full-scale operation here. All right, easy. Appreciate you. I'm sure we'll see you. We'll see you next week. Although, next week pregame show will be fun tonight. Actually, and I saw this comment. Shout out to Dominate07. Is it bad? I didn't think would show up alone on the show today. There's a good chance I'll be doing a solo recap show. So if you want to see me and just me for a solid 60 minutes tonight after Sunday Night Football, we'll see how we get done with that one. Yeah, careful what you ask for.
Yeah,
I have a lot of thoughts in my mind, and I have way more questions than answers. All right, easy, good shit. Good luck today, and we'll talk to you later.
Appreciate it.
Nice bink last night. Easy, the interception king. I like the pick.
Oh my God,
those are great. I'm firing.
If we were building a dream team of prop builders in our Discord, Easy would be put on the interception props by a mile. All right, let's next up. Let's see. I'm going in line here. We got. I assume he's somewhere with family because he's sitting in a car right now. And Dick Puncher is going to join us. He goaded me into getting him on the show this morning, saying there's no way we can't go another week without a Dick Punch. What's up, Dick?
It's true.
You're, live from your car with your Michigan hat on. How are we feeling about the Packers, and what do we like today?
Oh, I mean, I gotta love the Packers. Gotta love the Packers today. Vikings, they're fraudulent. People who don't know ball might say, last time we met up, right? Vikings won. And that's true. They won by 2 points in a game where we missed multiple field goals, 2 field goals, and then we went for it on 4th down in easy field goal range because we didn't trust the kicker. Since then, we have picked up Brandon McManus, who may or may not have done some off-color activities with a woman on a team flight at some point.
That's a kicker. It's not important.
That's in the past. I mean, ball don't lie. Ball don't lie. Right after he joins the Packers, game-winning kick against Jacksonville. All right, that tells you something right there. So yeah, love the Packers today. Take the Packers. But of course, I mean, it's already been alluded to. Mike Evans, he's got incentives. I know CJ said guaranteed 100 yards. If you get him 90 plus, is like a little mini in the middle ladder, but not so much. 90 plus 115. 100 plus yards for Mike Evans plus 165. Sign me up for that little mini.
Lock that in.
Yes. Obviously,
it's so easy.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, it's just easy. Sorry, I was just reacting. Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. That's easy. Chiga Conquo. Everybody's on Chiga Conquo. It seems like this week, double-digit targets both the past couple weeks. Ladder that up to 100. 100 might be reaching a bit. Give me 90 plus and plus 700 for Chiga Conquo would be the top of that ladder. And then obviously I love Tucker Kraft. last week I gave Tucker Kraft out on the show, and that wound up hitting up to 60+ yards at like +3 something. This week it's got 40+ +115, 50+ +190, 60+ +300, 70+ +450, which he did the time before that I gave Tucker Kraft out. He hit up to 70+, 80+ +700, 90+ 10-1. Yeah, so love Tucker Kraft. Love him.
Yeah, and I would imagine, I guess, like in general, how are we feeling about the Packers as we had? I saw there was some discourse going on with you around could the Packers be the greatest third place team in a division ever? I think that was maybe the angle you were going with. Classic fandom right there. How are we feeling as we head into the playoffs? And what's the ideal matchup for the Packers?
For me, it's somehow the Rams get kicked out and Seattle goes over the Rams and we play against Seattle. Other than that, Atlanta, if we could get them. Now, I don't know. We'll see how Atlanta does against the Commanders today. Obvious, I don't want to go. You pointed to this last time I was on the show. I don't want to go up against Baker. I know about Baker and Mike Evans. I don't want to have to deal with that. So Atlanta or the Seahawks ideally would be who I would want to see. But at the end of the day, we're going to have to face at least 2 of these top, 3 teams in the playoffs. So, bring it on. I feel very good. I do think, our division this year, I believe we're locked in to getting the most wins a division has ever had in the 4-team division era. It's nuts. We literally could have 3 teams all at 13 wins at the end of the season or more.
Reminds me of the NFC East every single year growing up.
I was going to say, even topping the North, I believe it was last year or 2 years ago, very similar situation where the best team was probably even better than the Bears. The crazy thing about what's happening in the North right now is that the top of the division is just, their record outside the division is very impressive, but the fact that, like Dick Puncher's saying, like, we could have a 5 seed with 14 wins.
For sure.
What are we doing here? All right. We're running short on time. Right. I assume you have props or something. Let's punch the bookie in the dick.
CJ's got his ladders. What would the Dick Puncher be? Without his fist to punch some dicks. Let's fucking go. Listen up, D-Gens. It's week 17. All right? It's time to make the bookies into patients at their local urgent care facilities. All right? We've been grinding all season, riding the highs, sweating the lows, and now we're starting, we're staring right down the barrel of another glorious Sunday. All right, so buckle up. We're about to throw some fucking haymakers. All right, the first order of business. We are all taking Mike Evans to score a touchdown. All right, you know it. I know it. We all bet it. Why? Because it's a system play. It's the gospel. All right, it is the law. Mike Evans scoring a touchdown is as inevitable as me ripping into the Vikings. All right, let me apologize because I didn't call into the pregame show last week. I didn't call in. And I didn't adequately motivate Mike and Baker Mayfield. And that's on me, boys. That's on me. I had to do a lot of soul searching of this past week. And Mike, if you're listening, all right, and I know you are, this is your official pump-up speech, all right? Get angry, get open, and get into the end zone. And Baker, throw it to Mike, all right? And only Mike. I know you know how to do this, all right? I don't care if he's triple teamed, all right, and the refs are chasing you down with flags, okay? We're throwing it. Throwing it right to him, baby. Shake and bake, all right? Packers, we're taking them to beat the Vikings, of course. I don't care if the Vikings think they're the class of the NFC, all right? They're frauds, all right? They've been squeaking by with luck and prayer and somehow a Jets castaway at QB. But that streak ends today, all right? The Packers about to send them. We're gonna send him a check, all right, a reality check. Okay. The only Viking that's gonna be happy when the clock hits zeros is gonna be JJ McCarthy because he's gonna think, oh, thank Christ, I've got a job again going into next year. All right. So this is it, D-Gens. Week 17, money to be made, dreams to be crushed. Mike Evans touchdowns to cash. Let's send these bookies straight to hell. Let it ride, boys. Woo!
Ah, beautiful. And as the chat is saying, Sean missing a great show. Well, that's what you get when you plan vacations in the middle of football season where you can't connect to the internet. So let Sean know, maybe a DM, that his lasers need to be focused and he doesn't know ball all that much. All right, Dick Puncher, best of luck this weekend, although I am on the Vikings with a large bet tonight. So not best of luck in the game. Good shit, Dick Puncher.
Later.
Cheers. All right, we got one more caller.
Funny, I was on a cruise in 2004, and I left on it where there was no sports on it at all. All I could watch was Formula One. Okay, and it was 2004. When I had left on the ship, the Yankees were up 3-0 against the Red Sox, and I was like, "Well, I'm not going to miss anything in sports for these couple weeks I'm on this cruise." And then in the next few days, I hear from like orders when I'm on shore that the Red Sox are staging this comeback against the Yankees. So that's what Sean's going
part
through
of
right
the problem. You were exactly. Except for the difference is he's in some tropical location, not caring about any of us, including you, Chad. He hates you right now.
Nice.
All right, next up, we got one more caller. Again, the VIPs all were given direct lines to the show.
Nice.
And this will be a new face for me because I don't think I've ever met Mr. Dayquon the Great face to face.
Hey,
Dayquon.
Yes.
Yes.
And more Packers love too. Happy Sunday. How's
hey,
your
happy
weekend
Sunday,
going?
happy Sunday.
And what do you like today?
First off, I want to say Dick Puncher, great fucking call, but these guys are getting fucking destroyed. The Vikings are going ham today. The Vikings are going ham.
Yes.
Oh, I
Double
love
result.
that.
Double result, first half, full game.
He pulled a recruit. He pulled a recruit. Like, I'm going to Miami.
love
No,
that.
I'm not going to Florida State.
Have you ever seen Matt LaFleur win a big fucking game?
Never.
Versus the best coach we have today in Kevin O'Connell? Come on, man.
Oh, I love this. I love this.
And he
I
pulled
like
out
the crossbow in the background too. That's
crossbow.
yeah,
what's-
man,
multiple
just started getting 2 days ago, bro.
What do we got going?
I real quick, so I saw Dayquon in the back there, and I saw at one point I was like, is he holding a crossbow? This is very interesting to me. What? So give me the backstory. So you got a crossbow for Christmas? That's dope.
No. I said I got a crossbow that I just used and shot a deer a couple days ago.
Oh,
No, all right.
I was gonna say, my kids didn't get me a crossbow.
Nah, fuck that. Nah, I bought that from a yard sale about maybe like 2 years ago.
Oh man, it says a lot about your character when you got a crossbow on the wall. I'll leave it at that. What? Give me your best bets today, Dayquon.
All right. My best bet of the day is gonna be betting against the Jets because they can't fucking tackle. For starters, I'm taking the double result on the Bills.
Oh
Yeah.
And then, sorry to say this, Kramer, but the Giants, they want your door. They're getting the #1 pick. That seems pretty clear to me. So I'm going to take the double result of the Bills and the Colts, parlayed together. Get you at 175.
So I like that. I noticed a lot of people were clowning Shedeur after he wore Giants cleats and then looked like complete ass in that bowl game. I will point out to those who are fading the Giants today, weather in the area has grounded all flights. So we did not get a new banner to Mr. Mara this week. So hopefully that doesn't throw up the bad mojo. But I'm with you. You got to fade this team by a mile.
I do got one little bomb for my man
Let's
over
hear the
there
bomb.
on the bottom
Let's
right.
hear the bomb. And then
Detonate a bomb, Dayquon.
Let's hear it.
All right, there's one bomb I'm playing this weekend. The Atlanta Falcons on the money line with Boise State, baby.
Woo!
Little college football crossover. It's almost like you're here at Planned Plant. Me, Sean, and Colby will be breaking down the college football quarterfinals at some point tomorrow on Monday, probably after Monday Night Football. Love Boise State. Got a nice future on them to win the Natty. So hell yeah, let's go Boise.
That might be a little rough, but I'll tell you what, when you can run the ball, when you can run the fucking ball, you win fucking games.
Hell yeah.
Whether it's Dayquon, high school, NFL, you run the ball, you win the game.
Jesus.
Hell yeah, Dayquon. Appreciate you calling in. Appreciate getting to meet you face to face.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. Pour one out for us. Love the
Julio
Julio jersey. Love the crossbow. Great to meet you. Dayquon.
What a great appearance by Dayquon. Yes, sir.
Is this a degenerate? Is that a C-generate?
Yeah, he's a C-generate, and I'm glad he represented there. I mean, I'm taking his picks out of respect.
Yeah.
man who gets a crossbow at a yard sale. You know there wasn't bartering going on there.
No,
he had a Jesus in the background with a tie-dye shirt,
Yes,
drinking rum from the bottle right to the face. I mean,
yes.
And I'll tell you what, the only way
then he detonates a cross-sport money line parlay. Bink.
Only way that could have possibly gone harder is if he had that deer's head that he shot with that crossbow in the background. That's it.
I gotta be honest. That is we don't know it was a deer, Bowser. And I gotta be
shot a deer with it.
Oh, okay. I gotta be honest. The jersey, the recruiting jersey swap, that might have been one of the greatest performances on our show in the history of the Sports Gambling Podcast. So we'll have to.
Got us too. It actually.
You know what? I got to be honest. Maybe Sean's lack of negative energy not being here has created has opened up the creative vibes of the show. Doubtful. I did just try to spin up Underdog, not realizing I'm in Florida. I don't know if that's the reason, but it does not appear like I can get in there. So Underdog entry on hold. Come back for the post game show. We're almost at kickoff, guys. Anything else you want to throw out before we go watch some football?
Let me take a look here. Let me take a look at my pen.
While you're thinking,
mybookie.ag.
Here's the easy play. Yeah, mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Thank you, CJ, for reminding me. And same for Underdog. Hop in there and get your deposit bonuses, especially MyBookie. I will say, as someone who dabbles in a lot of different places, there's nothing like an unrestricted prop builder. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
So Easy's interception plays, if you missed it, McKinney, Hooker, and Benford. He also had a little juice on the Evans, Irving, and Bryce Young stuff. A little same gamer there. If you missed my first half parlay, not having a great year in first half parlay land, but we are 1 for 16 so far this year. We are plus money. We're plus money on it. So hopefully we get another one this weekend. And CJ, what are we throwing out?
Let me toss. I'll toss two of them out there. My one Eagle game to keep it spicy. There, I got Kenny Pickett over 10.5 rushing yards.
Oh, I have that too, CJ. That's a great play.
He looked like a very willing runner last week, and obviously the fake slide. He's very athletic. He runs a 4.8 40. He's not hurts, but he'll definitely be running today. So 10.5 rushing yards. I think that should be pretty easy to obtain. And I put a parlay in at plus 525 of three of my most solid props. I already told you Aaron Jones over 63.5 rushing yards. Bucky Irving over 86.5. It's a high number, but he should be able to clear this. And James Cook over 66.5 rushing yards. Three of those together is plus 525.
Oh, love that.
Yeah, I like that. But the Bucky Irving numbers have gotten crazy, but it's also like, how does he not go off the top of a lot? Yeah, how does he not get there? Especially in a game, they could be up big, they're running, whatever. Bowser, you got anything else to?
Oh yeah.
Which, by the way, like the luck stops here.
The little mic.
Oh, I didn't see that on the mic. Yes,
very nice. Yeah.
I'm trying to be a little professional around here. All right, so I noticed a guy in the chat called me an idiot on my 66-1 prop earlier, so I will double down on that. I got 160-1 prop here that they're offering on the Red Zone specials with every team in the 1 p.m. Eastern games here, 160-1 to score a rushing touchdown.
All right. I mean, I look at those every week, and every week I'm like, this will be the week.
And you know what's funny is last time I did one of these, I was hanging out with the two of you guys, and we all started firing these like nonstop when we were at the Westgate. And so I thought just for a little fun there, we'd bring that up. But no, I like the James Cook stuff, to be honest with you. You kind of stepped on my toes there with that, because I do kind of like a James Cook ladder going to like 80, 90, 100.
100%. Love James Cook today.
Again, like with the motivational edge, like I feel like we're obligated to play the Jets on the money line, but I also don't want to play the Jets on the money line.
James Cook is very close to tying or breaking a Buffalo rushing record held by one Orenthal James Simpson. So, but the Bills are going to be trying very hard to get OJ off their team record books this week.
And this is one of the greatest PMT bits they do. But OJ, better football player than human. Definitely easy to say that.
It's funny to bring that up though, real quick, because there's a lot of lip service going on with Eric Dickerson in case Saquon breaks his record, his rushing record, and he's like, oh well, he's got one more game, it doesn't count. Well, you broke OJ's record with 2 more games. OJ did his in 14 games, for crying out loud. I mean, you wouldn't even have a record if it wasn't for that.
you don't really appreciate the level of clownness with Dickerson unless you live in LA and see some of the like local stuff. But man, he really is into himself. Although he is also the author of one of the greatest quotes ever when he took a pay cut to go to the NFL. Real quick on Dayquon, I wanted to update because it was.
And he's got a great nickname too, the Rambassador.
The Rambassador is amazing. But Dayquon wanted to point out that it's not Jesus on his wall; it was Snoop Dogg smoking a blunt. So the legend of Dayquon just continues. He's got Snoop Dogg smoking a blunt, a crossbow, and performed one of the greatest jersey swaps in the history of the Sports Gambling Podcast.
And
this will go down in history.
And is there a difference between Snoop Dogg and Jesus? Who knows at this point?
I want everyone that's still watching to DM Sean and ask him where he was when the greatest moment in Sports Gambling Podcast history pregame show happened. And just ask him that. Don't tell him what happened. Just ask him that. Make him feel
Degenerates bringing it.
Degenerates bringing it. All right. Let's get out of here. Games are about to start in a minute.
Yeah.
Love everyone. Good chance I'll see you tonight solo, which – come on, it might be fun. We'll see. Maybe we'll take a shirt off or two, do some props. I don't know. I've been watching these streamers. They do all sorts of wacky stuff. They burn their kitchen down. I don't know. Anyway, Bowser, CJ, thanks for joining me and making this a 3-man weave. Good luck today, and let it ride.
Yes.